Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute, this music isn't right, the scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time for the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, Nevermorians. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tucker, coming at you for the airways on WNTF. That's Nevermind the Furthermore. Now, pardon me if I'm coming in a little smooth, a little groovy, a little activated. I woke up at 5:30 this morning for no reason, and I've been getting some stuff done. So we'll get into that once we get into my accountability. But folks, I got some bills to pay, some folks to thank. And I couldn't do it without the good folks that I'm about to talk about. First and foremost, we got to remember over at IndieCD.org. Yes, IndieCD.org, your one-stop shop for a safe place to put yourself up online where you won't be easily deplatformed like the Book of Faces or the Bird Place. Also, we are, of course, made possible by the sales of certain apps over at JB Tech Apps, that's Joe Bachman Tech Apps, where you can get gaming apps and construction apps and other wonderful products and services from my own Joe Bachman. And at least some of my product, at least one, which we will get into, is available at fundmycomic.com because FundMyComic is the independent crowdfunding service as created by our own friend of the show, Luke Stone, where you can get Hybrids, the Sons of Gods, the role-playing game. Now, if you really want to support me financially, what's this? Secret code Beta 2023. I don't know if it still works, but you better try while you can. But if you really want to support me financially, or you very importantly want to learn how to sword fight, may I humbly suggest the Simple Sword. Your one-stop, easy to learn, take the mystery and excessive vocabulary out of classical fencing and show you how to get it done, along with the follow-ups, the Fighting Axe and the Simple Spear. My ongoing series to bring Western martial arts to you in a low-cost, easy-to-understand format where you can train at home regardless of health, wealth, or a background. And speaking of keeping things simple, easy, and inexpensive, dear friends, for a mere $10, you can get this lovely volume, the core rule books for Big Stompy Robots, the War Tactics game that allows you to play with the minis you already have and blow stuff up at the table. Because remember, the golden rule of Big Stompy Robots is, when in doubt, pick the option that blows the most stuff up. So, friends, when in doubt, blow some fun stuff with your friends here and explore a lore dense, wonderful world that you can get into without having to spend years studying to understand the factions. It's all right there. There are also a couple novellas in the series for those of you who like a little sci fi, a little horror, a little comedy, all wrapped up in a wonderful world where mega corporations are in power and the little guy's doing what he can with what he got. And many times, what he's got is a 15-foot tall walking engine of destruction, striding like a pagan god across the battlefield. Now, if that's not your thing, and maybe your tank loyalist friends, the tanks still crawl, the artillery still fires, and everyone has a good time. In an amount of time that usually it would take to settle a rules dispute in other games. So, with all that, let's talk about my accountability. And brothers and sisters, I have some accountability. This has been a very, very, very busy week. I have been making errands and running around doing things. But I also am taking the former one side of a page in proper Nikki's document I used when I needed to have a game going right now, an RPG that could be made right now and get people rolling. I have used that system for decades as a shortcut to get people rolling before they switched over to Big Boy D&D, and I loved it. And I streamlined it to make character creation faster, unnecessarily rules gone, and give it that almost old school JRPG. You're there, you're doing stuff, let's hit it and go. Well, I am translating that from Nikki's into a lovely document, but I'm keeping the name. So the Nick Tockert's Nick Tockert's old school Microlight RPG is being made as we speak, in that I have been doing the formatting and fact checking and expanding on things so that it's not written from somebody who's been DMing longer than many of his players have been alive. This is hopefully something that will allow people to get into the hobby pretty easy who love it. And yes, when this is done, I will do a more modern variant with silly things like positive armor class. But for those of you who remember a time that THAC0 was still quite wacko, that may be the game for you. Now that I have said that, and that's what I'm hoping to have done, let's get into some more commentary. I do want to put a shout out to Grant Lankard, who had me on his drawing show. Due to some technical difficulties, I wasn't able to draw live for you guys. But rest assured, I intend to do something about that depending on how today goes. You may get a bonus art time with Nick. Worst come to worst, I may do that live at the end of the show. Okay? So, that all being said, because I'm driving, I want to get that out this week. That is my personal goal. And then I'm going to be dealing with the assorted merriment that is Mother's Day. And then we will see. Yes, we will see. But with that, I know I'm getting into a little early. I want to run a commercial, and then I will drop into your lovely comments. So let's see. I really should open up with our own Joe Bachman to let you know what, remind you about the programs he has. I may have to split that into 2 ads at some point.
Hi, I'm Joe Bachman with Behind the Code, Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch on the Independent Creator Directory pages. On this show, you'll be able to watch me go through and update the Independent Creator Directory website with new features or new members depending on what we have going on that week. Again, that's Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch on the Independent Creator Directory page. Joe Bachman again with The Burning is Love on Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time, also on the Independent Creator Directory Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch pages. To find out more about the Independent Creator Directory, visit indiecd.org to find other great authors, artists, game designers, and live streamers. On this stream, you'll get to watch me go through and do various word burning projects that I put on theburningislove.com. I look forward to seeing you guys there and hope you have a great day.
And you know what? We're going to try to do that, Joe. And I hope even if you aren't in the chats, you're having a great day. But speaking of the chats and friends, you know I have the most amazing chat in online to be found. Let's see who's first through the door. First through the door is our own Kelly Carlisle. She's the creator of the Bishop Kincaid series. And I like saying that because I'm hopeful. Good morning, Nick and fellow creatives. I have to miss the show today due to various factors. Wishing you all a great and wonderful day. See everyone in the next show. Be good and great. Well, Kelly, I'm going to do my best. Sorry, we'll miss you for the live, but you can catch us in rerun because you're an amazing author. You're an amazing lady. And you always add to the conversation. I'm sorry. And Carl's through the door. Carl's the author of the Mad Gasser series and just a great guy. Good morning. So many other books. Kelly, sorry that I missed you. Good morning, everyone. Hey, Witzman dude. Hey, everyone. Hey, Donna. I hope you're keeping the mojo in the dojo, darling. I hope everything is smooth sailing and you have no problems. Accountability did some revisions on a previous book yesterday. Actual writing work. Don't everyone think, oh, my gosh, you're working. Yeah, keep it up. You do great things, and I want to see you do more. Hey, good looking Donna. Still not accountable for dang thing. Life is good. Hey, if you're happy, I'm not complaining. My job is to build people up. If you're already up, you can look down upon me and gaze at the silliness of my efforts. Lamau, says Carl. Since nobody's here yet, Donna, are we still going out for ice cream later? Where is everyone? You betcha they open at 11. Oh, that's well timed. I thought it was noon. No problem. Maybe it was. We can waste time till noon. I have a Meyer for script. Good to know. Hiya, Alec. Alec is doing what they do better than just about anybody else. I got to see some of the experiments. They're in the process of learning how to stream and building up the rhythm and getting used to the hearing your own voice. I hope you could get a better mic, but keep at it. I may just drag you on a show and try to figure out how to get where you can share your screen at the same time as mine. I think that may be OBS trickery, which is not something I have. Good morning, Alec. Hey, Alec. Good morning, Carla Donna. Hey, guys. Hi, Grant. We were just talking about you. When your technical issues stabilize, we'll come in and I'll have to do some art on your show. Had great time talking to you. Sorry it went long, but Lord knows if you have me on your show, it's going to be a bit long-winded. Morning, Grant. Hi, Alec. Don't believe we've met. No, Alec is a teenage. How do I put? They're one of my players, when I run a program, the D&D-ish, RPG program for the library, and they're a student of art, and I'm really trying to help them get their stuff out there as they improve and build up, and make sure that there's a really warm community where someone who is as talented as they are can get the kind of base to really move up and maybe learn from a lot of our mistakes and advance, because that's what I'm all about. It's an opportunity to whoop somebody up to a higher level than maybe they have yet. That is, of course, my jam. So that's what we're working on. Hey, Grant. And don't forget to like and share. Hey, Donna. Just had breakfast, and that's the last food I can have today. Getting a colonoscopy tomorrow. As you've said, I think perhaps you're winding yourself up a bit more than you need to, Grant. Don't feed into the anxiety. Just accept that this is going to happen. It's part of what we all have to do. I'll be facing one soon enough myself. And just allow for it. And then move on. I think that's something that people are inclined to generate the fear of for the fun of it. Almost, it's like people like to, oh no, and it's a routine procedure. Might not be routine for you, but fortunately, it's routine for them. So let yourself just breathe. I'm sure it won't be pleasant, but it'll be better than the alternatives that you could have. And I'm hoping it comes back clean. Hey, Carl. Yeah, Grant, the prep and starvation are the worst thing. The starvation kind of scares me as I'm diabetic. I didn't have class today, so I got to be here today. I'm glad you're here, Alec. Cool, Alec. What class is canceled? Because my teacher decided not to show up for the Zoom. That's cool. I think my room show on Monday went pretty well. It has a little room for cleaning, but that's okay. I'll do a little each week. That's what's happening. Calling you out? I would never call you out, Alec. You know that. Oh, yeah. I call everybody out. I'm terrible, but I call myself out. Accountability. Let's hear it. Pages 35, 36, and 37 are laid out for primetime Saturday night, number 4. We'll work on page 38 later tonight. Hopefully we will be solidly in the Juggernaut versus Madam Majestic match by Saturday's show. I am certain your fans will enjoy that. Hey, Joe, and hello, Joe. Morning, Grant. How are things? We've got greetings. The show looked good, Grant. But hey, it's only the second show. Don't judge yourself too hard. You'll find the groove. And that's it. It's about finding that rhythm of content and pacing. It will come. But right now, you're way too new to have that. Hey, Joe D. Going good, Joe? Whoops. Morning. Well, other than the call, yep. Sure you'll be ready for your next alien abduction. More greetings. Lamau. I love how you say Lamau, Nick. Yes. Work it, Mike. You got to work it. You got to know how to make it go, friends. Oh, MG, I have a really cute drawing in progress. It's Nitsu and a cute 3-eyed cat. Can't wait to see it. Morning. Just trying to lighten the mood. Oh, absolutely. The mood always needs lighten. I'm doing okay. You know who else lightens the mood pretty well? Well, since he's here, we will run we will run the long format one for him. Oh no, I can't because I have to edit that one. I'm sorry, there were musical copyright issues. I have to tweak that one. So I will run instead the classic Joe D. McPhee while we're waiting.
Hi, I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the host of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, and I want to cordially invite you to watch our show, Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. On our show, we will have different guests as well as talk about the comic book industry and pop culture. And every so often, I might actually do a drawing session or a 3D rendering session every here and there. So once again, I want to invite you to watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on the broadcast channel that you're looking at, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Hope to see you there, and make certain that you catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks.
Yep. We're still fighting some of the issues. I want to make sure everything works well for you guys. And remind you, if you submit ads, if at all possible, please keep them a minute, between 30 seconds and a minute. Because those ads are much easier for me to fit in my relatively limited runtime. I do have a couple longer ads, and I try to space them out as best I can. But we can get a lot more done. Because in that less than a minute, I could also run this.
Hazel always knew there was something special about her cat Mooney, but she's still shocked when Mooney opens his mouth to tell her he's just had a vision. An ancient evil has awoken after centuries of sleep, and only one man can stop it, the legendary warrior Beowulf. Unfortunately, it's been over 1,000 years since he slayed a dragon, and he's been reincarnated as this guy. His name is Victor, and he's more unemployed millennial slacker than mighty warrior.
That is such a good title, and I am so proud that and inspired to see Grant get his book into comic shops. I mean, for a lot of people, that's a huge dream, and he pulled it off. No matter what the financial success is, he pulled that dream off, and no one could take that away from him. And that's something we need to remember. We will always have, as independent creators, people trying to pull us down, the people who will try to erode our faith or our belief in what we're doing. And keeping track of your accomplishments will really help stave that off, because one of our great oppositions, our great enemies, our great opponents is imposter syndrome around here. A lot of people have it. Hi, my name is Nick. I have imposter syndrome. Constantly. But I believe if we come together and we hold each other responsible to stave off the ego while building up the positive, wonders can happen. I do believe, my dad's version of the table of elements, in very many, for life has only two things: carrots and sharp sticks. Everything is either something you want or something you don't want. And it's very simple, but it's also a very clear way of looking at the world. And there are people who want what you have, especially like talking to Grant, but they don't have the courage or the capacity or the quality to go through the path to get there. So never, ever feel diminished. Anyone. Because I've been around a lot of things. I've read a lot of people's intended books. Some are of great quality. Bonsert is doing the penultimate steampunk manual, basically, in very high concept, in depth, what you expect from Bonsert Vocal. And I've gotten to read the introduction, which is fairly lengthy because Bonsert is a robust, lengthy writer. It's just who and what he is. It's how his mind works. And it's fascinating. And I've read some other stuff lately, and I won't put those people on blast because I don't blast people who are honestly trying to improve. So they're trying, but it was rough. And I had to tell them politely, this is rough. You need to work on X, Y, and Z. And that's why I review things, because I will give it a civil but straightforward. This is good. This isn't. Work on this. Might want to talk to this person for more advice. Boom. That's why I like meeting new people, because either I can help them or they can help others. But rarely do I meet someone so uninteresting they aren't of value to the community around them. It does occasionally happen, and I find that to be incredibly tragic. But I believe in you guys, and I believe what you can do. And sometimes it just takes that little nudge. So anytime you have an opportunity to give somebody a little nudge to toward positivity, I'm going to say go for it. And let's see, I last left off with Jody asking about Donna, and Dawn DeLoss. Hi, Dawn. Off to a doctor's appointment. This month is full of appointments. I'm sorry. And there she is, Dawn DeLoss, our patron of promotion herself. And there she goes. There she goes again on her own. Anyway. Yeah, thanks, Joe. Thanks again for the smiles Saturday night. I'm glad you guys are having fun. Well, comment dump. Give me a second. Woo. Hey, Dawn. I'll give you license info to fight if you need it, Nick. I may just message me that in case they come at me again about it. I would appreciate it, because they put it up and brought it back down, so they may have done some stuff, and I may trim it just a bit for length, like I've had to do with oh god, I lost his name. Neil Litherland's, because I just couldn't run a 4-minute ad. I'm sorry, guys. Not on a 1-hour show. Thanks for running my ad. It's my pleasure. And like I said, the only time I'm hesitant to run ads is if it interferes with the flow of conversation. Because if we're getting good, the conversation is far more important to me than the promotion, because the conversation is what people learn from. The promotion is what they learn about. And that's why I encourage you guys, give me little ads I can squeeze in easily. It makes it easier on everyone, because people start to resent the longer ads. I don't know if you've run into this phenomenon where you're watching YouTube or you're watching, Tubi or something, and you keep getting bombarded by the same ad. It makes me dislike the product. If it's a lengthy ad that I feel is getting in my way, there are reasons we are not sponsored by Game Shady Stories, and I'm going to make those t-shirts up one of these days. But, because, it's like, oh, guys, can we get back to your programming? I want to support you, but I can't support that. Give me something to work with. So that's why I promote the people who I feel are doing good, and they're moving and they're part of the conversation. But I hate to break the conversation, because that is the primary goal. Get you guys talking and asking questions and giving answers and supporting and holding accountable and building up. So I can just be the moderator here. Carl says, I've been waiting for inspiration to work on the spy novel. I think what I need to do is get angry with myself and my procrastination. That motivates me to actually do work. Sometimes a little self-anger can be necessary. I know I'm fighting my ADD hatred of clutter and my ADD constant creation of clutter to get things done. So I feel you. Like the shower drain that had the cat toy in it. I got upset and I put it to priority fix and got it. I need to do that same with the writing illustrator. Like BKM right out of spite. Oh, Oh, yes. Please remember that we are hashtag fueled by spite around these parts. That's part of why I'm making my assorted, why the microlight is coming to Amazon and why some other projects are coming up real fast. I've got some spite burning slow and low, and like a fine smoked hot hamburger, this is gonna be good. I want hamburger. I'm kind of in the mood for pork chops, but oh, let me just hide that banner for just a moment because you guys know we're hot fueled by spite. Okay. Uh, Afternoon. Good afternoon, Bonsard. I was just speaking about you. Working on it right now. That's such. See, guys, I have this problem, and bear with me. If something has done you great joy, you owe it to the system that did that. What do I mean? Almost everything good in my life has come to me as an adult related to sword fighting. It's either been sword fighting or gaming. I loop my art to both of those, ironically, but because those are the three forces, really, gaming, art, and sword fighting, and everything good that I have has come via those avenues. So I feel I owe each of these avenues, a debt, to the discipline that I love. Now, Carl has written a lot of books helping people with mental progress, and they're fascinating subjects that as soon as I find where I misplaced a couple my copy on that, I need to get his books on hypnosis. I'd love to try to use some of my much neglected earlier studies combined with that to see if I can't mitigate some of my issues. But Carl has given back to the field of cognition because he is such a metacognitive individual. He thinks about the process of thinking. And through psychology, and that was his career. He helped a lot of people. He continues to, quite unofficially, quite often, and I'd never want to take that kindness for granted. But he gives back, and I respect that. Radio Retro Future, so much of Bonsart's life is tied in steampunk that the debt of giving back to the genre, both in fiction and in his perspective, is there, and he's doing that. And I feel that that's a good way to maintain a sort of karmic balance. I don't know if anybody else thinks that way. I might be mad. I wouldn't. It wouldn't be the first time I've been accused of such. But I admire when people try to give back. I respect that highly because it's a sign of both understanding, and it's something that I find happens to those who have suffered / endured / grown through a death of ego. What I do isn't about me. The work is not about the worker. So how can I do it in such a way to preserve it so that in my absence the work continues? The Simple Sword, the Simple Sword series, the Big Stompy Robots, the other games I'm making. I want people to have fun. I want people to learn. I want people to be happy, to gain confidence, and to do that. And Bonsart is doing that. So it's amazing. Hey, Bonsart. Hey, Bonsart. Everybody's happy to see Bonsart. And hey, Don. Alex said, I did a drawing I'm proud of, but my sister's calling it suggestive. No, that's just how the character is. Now, because you are a minor, Alex, we have to be very, very careful. And I really suggest you be very careful on the type of content you draw. Simply because I don't want you to get in trouble for it. And, what you put out. There are reasons why I am fully capable of drawing a great many things, but I keep my art almost completely. There are a few exceptions under rated R. I try to do that in part because I have a background working in academia and the library system, which is part of it, but adjacent, and a few other things that I may wish to return to as my life progresses. I don't know. I am not one of those people who suffers the illusion that I know what tomorrow will bring. I plan like I know tomorrow will bring, but I try to have peace that, I really don't. So I would keep your stuff, at least for now, very, very careful. Once you crack the 18 line and the 21 line, that's all on you. But remember, everything you draw and put out can be put back on you. And it's so easy for people to misinterpret something. Let's see. Looking forward to your feedback on Anlin. That is my... Anlin right now is serving as my my prize. It's something that I get to do after I'm done with the project I'm currently working on, which is taking my quick notes for making a game happen with no prep and condensing it and publishing it as my Microlight, my old school Microlight RPG. And then I get to read Anwin and do something else. I will not watch a Grammarly ad. Ugh. Oh, God, Grammarly ads. But any Bones Coffee ad with that one gal, give me that ad. Well, at least we know what you're about. Good morning, Josh. Joined by Josh Kemp. Hey, Josh, do we get a comment dump or is it just being squirrely? Greetings there. Anger can be a great inspiration. I think I wouldn't be in comics if it wasn't for anger from working with others. Oh, I can understand that. Oh, and thanks for reminding me. I have some hamburger for lunch in the fridge. Yeah, I do too. I may have to fire up the grill. I know. I did not mean it. Oh, and I'm sure it's likely less suggestive than intended, especially if it's related to the images I've seen you put up on your streams. The problem is I think people are misgendering reading pecs with memories, boobs, on one of your characters. Nothing wrong with being suggestive, just beware being labeled. Just like Nick said, I'm typing too slowly, I guess. Hi, Josh. Everybody's happy to see Josh. Now, yeah, I also am notorious, Alec, for espousing caution. I beg you guys to be careful in things. And a lot of people make fun of me. I am very careful because I've had good reason to be careful in a lot of things. So I try to keep you just completely off some of the minefields I've had to tiptoe through because I took a wrong turn or I did something else. I am learning a lot every day, and that's kind of what we're about. And Josh says, hey, Aunt Donna. See, everyone loves Aunt Donna. But we're 38 minutes in, so I'm going to run an ad, and I think everybody needs a chance to just stand up, stretch, maybe hydrate if you got it. Let's see. Sounds. Yep. Okay, there we go. Okay, caught you. Caught you. Well, if you're wondering why I wasn't where I was supposed to be, we had a visitor. Hi, Dusty. Hi. I know Stuart is usually the cat you guys get to see, because Dusty can be a little more active. But you say hi, Dusty. Want to? Can you see the little red dot? I hope they can see your pretty green eyes, Dusty. Look at that. Look at those pretty eyes. Okay, you can cuddle for a bit. Dusty's gonna hang. Hi, Dusty's gonna hang out here. He may chirp for us. He may sing some songs. He does things. Hi. Yes. You want to hang out? We'll hang out. Let's see what people are saying while we hang out. Let's see. Boo 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 doo boo doo boo. Boo doo boo doo boo doo boo. I don't mind. Let's see. Carl Witzman says he doesn't mind being labeled as an adult theme author, but some people would, like Mad Gasser Cheerleader, not for kids. No, and that should be fine. Yeah, that's what a lot of people do with specifically trans male characters. I do understand that. I try to keep it down. Oh, I'm sure. I'm just trying to keep you out of trouble and make sure you don't accidentally get anyone else in trouble, because as a minor, showing the wrong image to an adult, you get the adult in trouble as well. So it's something that needs to be navigated. Yeah. Reminds me, I need, Radio Retro Future says, reminds me I need to make an ad for Bound for the Sticks. If all goes well, right, it should be on Amazon tomorrow. Well, wonderful. That's a great book. You could be cool. Okay. I know. I need my hand to work the mouse for a moment. Thanks for the ad, Nick. Oh, it's my pleasure. I love running ads for people. I just have to pace them out. Nick, Glenn, how are you, sir? I hope you're having a wonderful day. The trouble seems to be that many readers can't be trusted to act like adults. That's the absolute truth in the matter. And Alec has some valid points about people dealing with trans characters. Hi, sir. Yep, Dusty. This is Dusty. Dusty is my second cat. He is actually most of the time basically a large dog in a cat's body, and that's okay. He is a guardian, and he escorts me to the bathroom and basically anywhere I need to go, but he's usually not quite in this affectionate a mood. This is a pretty affectionate mood for Dusty. Yep, you got scratched. That's like, kitty. Yep. Now, if he gets too rowdy, I'll run an ad and I'll let him back out, but he got in, and I figured I'd just show you guys what's going on. And then I'll blow my nose a lot, because I am actually quite allergic to cats. Cat! Yes! See, Dusty, are you going to be the baby? Is Dusty the baby? No, Dusty's not the baby right now? Okay, Dusty's not the baby. Yeah, they don't need your cat derriere. Come on, there we go. Glenn says, I'm busy painting Randy's Fool character pinup and working on the Hatch promo film. Busy, but I'm listening. Wonderful. As soon as you have a promo film, clip or something that I can run as an ad, put it in the folder and we'll get it out there. And hopefully folks who have access to that folder know that they can use other people's commercials to promote them. That's what that folder is for. So I made it the way I did, so it's not, no. Oof. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Okay. So it's not just for me to be able to run your ads. I want anyone who has access to be able to run the ads of anyone who throws in there. That way we can promote more, guys. Sophia knows boobs. I know some people find that the Google folder a little difficult to navigate, but it really does help get your stuff out there. Hey, Glenn, Donna Carleen, Carl Witzman, we got greetings. I obviously have no problem with being an adult writer. That's why some of my books have a parental advisory ribbon on them. And I understand and I respect that. I just work with so many minors that it's not something I have an option to do. Nick, would you draw an associate character sometime? I certainly will. It'll be a matter of when I get a moment to, because I actually entered the coloring book contest, so I'm up for it. You comfortable? Yeah. And I'm trying to upgrade my art to be worthy of such opportunities. Okay. Nope. Okay, we're getting rowdy. Calvin came up to look at Dusty, gives his approval, moves off. You're trying to get it's almost Zoomies time again for you, isn't it? Dusty, not Sophie. My bad. No, that's fine. No, we had a lot of names that we tried to get him to respond to, but he liked Dusty, so Dusty is what stuck. A lot of times figuring out how to talk to your cat. Hi, Grey Wolf. How are you doing? I like the W.D. Smith part. I just love seeing names. Okay. You know what? We're going to... settle for a second. He's getting rowdy, so I'm going to run a quick ad. And I am going to be right back.
Are you absolutely sure about this, Toyvin?
Absolutely certain, Ogson. If there was any other way, I'd consider it.
Let's do it then.
The stones are stable. Follow my lead.
So, what do you know about the Aquanids?
I'll tell you later.
Well, I tried to get rid of the comment. I'm sorry about that. I think the best way to train the cats not to come and cause trouble whilst I'm streaming is to affectionately love on them and hold them hostage and love them and cuddle them and call them George. Nick, you just remind me of the news report on Morning News about a statue that was done by a high school student overseas. Mermaid. People were complaining about her proportions. Yes, I have seen that. They were a little upset that the mermaid had a derriere. It had a butt. Where the tail would meet. It would have to be strong. It was aesthetically pleasing. We really need to learn better and educate ourselves and our communities the difference between art and pornography for criminy's sake. When they're bashing on Michelangelo's David because he has genitalia, my gosh, I mean, that's excessive, folks. I don't know why people are that scared of bodies, but especially with, I'm trying not to rage here, with the absolute balderdash, and I'll say that balderdash law that the governor of Indiana signed, going after school librarians, because not only is it, a complete suppression of the First Amendment, not only is it needless and, again, balderdash, but it is written in such a way to turn things into Fahrenheit 454. And that is some genuinely nightmarish stuff. I am livid about it, and I am in absolute solidarity with any of the librarians and anyone who wants to oppose that thing, because it was written from a place of ignorance. And I will not stand to see such things without it being addressed. Pardon my tension, but that elicits a righteous fury in me, because people have this misconception that the Constitution, which is one of the most beautiful documents ever written by man, grants us our human rights. The Bill of Rights grants us. That is a fallacy. The Bill of Rights acknowledges the innate rights of any human being. The right to express yourself, to believe what you believe, to put things out in the press. these are sacred things, and it is a tragedy and a travesty that the classes of civics and understanding the Constitution and understanding the laws were stripped out. But hey, a bunch of politicians want to shake their fists and drum up, controversy and attack people they think are weak, or because what's a librarian going to do? How dare you, sir? That is bad form, and you will find out what people who have devoted their lives to research are capable of finding out and doing. And I say that in form of the proper response through legality and probably a constitutional lawsuit. I hope it goes to the Supreme Court, because somebody needs to back that dude down. Now, that has been as spicy as I'm going to get this morning. Moving on with the comment. Good morning, Grey Wolf. I don't get political here often, but that one is one of those that matters. New blog describing the difference between cyberpunk and steampunk. Quite proud of it. Association of Ishtar post steampunk versus cyberpunk prosthetics and cybernetics. Ooh, that's so good, especially since we are living in a world that is slowly creeping towards transhumanism. Hey, Gray, finishing up model aircraft P-47D Thunderbolt. Oh, glorious. Oh, yes, call them George. It's a habit. Too much love, I'm out of here. And then I can get stuff done. They let kids watch violence to deny them sex ed and wonder why people are so violent. Yeah, basically. I know it sounds cringe, but I had to grow up fast, so I had a lot to learn before my other peers did. Yeah. It's not cringe at all. You'll find a lot of people in this chat, and certainly in my circle, had to grow up fast from different options. And that's why, we're supportive, okay? Because a lot of us have already been some of those places. And that's why I am fiercely protective of children in general, and especially children and any individual who has had trauma and is trying to overcome. I believe the valor in healing and maintaining a heart of kindness and love, when you have seen some of the worst humanity can throw at people, is something that needs to be recognized. And I am dang proud to know folks like that. And that includes you, Alec. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Blue Teddy. Sorry, you came in when things may have been a little serious tone, but we're still doing groovy around here. Hey, Blue, I'm glad we got some greetings in. But yeah, that's guys why it's so important that you write and tell your stories, and you help others tell your stories. Thanks, Nick. I'll finish the Hatch promo. I'll send you the link so you can show it. Many thanks. Now, I will tell you, please, when you want me to show things, copy the video and put it into the Google folder, because the way StreamYard works is if it's in there, I run the link and it doesn't come off of my system. It runs through StreamYard, and it makes it much, much more likely to run properly than me having to do a screen share to hop over to show it. It's much less taxing on my system. And by putting your ad into the secret StreamYard folder for ads that anybody who's done that has access to, it's very possible that others will show your ad. That's what it's there for. Hi, Carl. Hi, Blue Teddy. If you're the least bit different by definition of the majority, you do grow up fast. Will do. Thank you. Because like I said, I never do things for just one reason, guys. Or very, very rarely. And it better be a heck of a reason. I want, and this is an invite to you folks who have shows and have ads. Those ads are there for the picking. Some people's ads aren't there because they didn't send them to me, and I had to do the bells and whistles to get things into StreamYard. But I will tell you a secret. Once it's in StreamYard, I can delete it or I can share, or work it from mine, but I can't pull it back out. StreamYard is very careful in how it holds on to data. I think that's so that people don't use it as an alternative data storage system. That does help, Alec, because you look through the viewpoint of maturity at the immaturity of the normals. That's true, but be careful not to let yourself lose the any more of the joys of childhood, of youth, because I have found that people who are forced to grow up too fast initially can have a fragility if they're not careful. I don't want to phrase this. It's like the temper is rushed, so they have a very hard edge. It's like a katana. The outer edge of it is ultra hardened, and it happens quick. The problem is it can eliminate flexibility, or it's been crucibled and it's very flexible, but it doesn't hold an edge because it's just been chewed on. So let yourself find the joys you can and enjoy them. And sometimes you have to turn off your inner adult and simply let yourself enjoy even minor things. And I give that advice to adults too. Like, too many people, there's a tiny quote from the Bible. It said, I'm paraphrasing, but when I was a child, I worked as a child, I thought as a child. When I became a man, I put such childish things away. And much of my life, that quote was used to justify the removal of things that brought me simple pleasure. And it took me a while to get in a place where I could regain some of those things. It's part why I have a truly obnoxiously large collection of Nerf guns. I'm rather proud of that. So sometimes, though, Nick, social pressures will not allow one to keep that youth, sadly. That's true. And when you have to lose that happens, but don't lose simple joys, because much like gender roles, I believe we have an ingrained age roles where, for example, many of us are comic book fans. And there are people who will insist, well, comic books are for children, they're not for adults. If it is bringing you joy and causing no hardship nor harm, has no moral deficiency, I fail to see the issue. And, I think as we grow, we are having societal strains from this, because many traditions that are important are neglected, and many traditions that aren't are celebrated. And, it seems like the system we live in is made to drive people towards working a miserable job, finding escape in alcohol and, corporate sponsored and approved television and consumption. And independent thought, independent pleasures, independent joy is suppressed under many, many guises, where, you have to ask people, where did you get the idea that that's a bad thing? How is that hurting you or anyone else? In the more immortal words of Samurai Cop, katana is the Japanese for sword. Absolutely. Yep. Doesn't mean you can't find joy, though. You just have to see it differently. Yes, we have a view that only children can be happy. Why is that? Well, it's just part of, I think, justification for driving people to the metaphorical and literal minds. And I think that's why we're seeing a back push against, child labor laws, and a back push towards some really dark things, because those dark things are highly profitable for certain individuals and at the detriment of society at large. But we can create and we can escape that by building positive systems and allowing freedom. I wear my Hawaiian shirts out a lot, and this is by far one of my most tame. But I've had people, that's so cool. How do you have the courage to wear it? Like what? Somebody's going to think I'm a dork, or, oh no, I'm dressed like a dad. Well, I have a 14-year-old son that should, I'm in the dad club anyway. But people have this idea. It's like people will have raging arguments and get angry because somebody likes something on their pizza that they don't. And it's so much, that's their plate. Leave it alone. You have your plate, they have theirs. I don't care if they want to put mustard on their pizza. It doesn't change your pizza. The only issue is when you try to force people to eat the same thing you do. That metaphor, well, you should, what? I'm supposed to wear, merchandise supporting the locally hired, genetically selected sports ball team that make more in a year than I make in a lifetime, and attend, the bonding rituals and the food, proper restaurants, and eat and drink the right things. No, what we need to do is find some joy. Yes. Okay, let's see. Oh, yes. I was forced to like bad things with old friends, so I stay away from those people. Absolutely. Absolutely. You need a different group of people. And unfortunately, when you've endured and had to mature rapidly, as many of us have, it's harder to associate with your age peers. And I usually am more comfortable associating with people 10 to 20 years older than me, as a rule. I suspect you may fall into the same category. And that means you have to be selective about those people. But I believe there's good, and there are good people. There are people who will let you be you. You just have to find them. Glenn says some comic books are for kids. Many are not. Like everything worthwhile, one has to investigate. Unlike reading books, reading comics has its rewards. I will disagree with that last category vehemently, in that I find great joy in reading books and comic books. And sometimes I will read stuff definitely geared towards kids simply because it's either nostalgic or comforting. And, in a world where I watch the news and I am gifted at analyzing what I am seeing and how grim it can be, I like my escapism to be pretty darn escapist. Mr. Gorbachev, knock down that societal wall. Yeah. I mean, it's just like the people come up, oh, having fun babysitting. I'm at the time I was, I'm out with my son. I'm not babysitting. I am a dad out with my son. There is no babysitting involved. I'll give you a shock. My wife is the breadwinner. My wife makes money. And I stay home and I make a very small amount of money doing a lot of work online, and I take care of my son. And I'm dang proud of what I do. I'm trying to help my special needs son live the best life he can. And I'm proud of that. And there are a lot of people who demean me for it. I have my goofy wall of cool has all manner of little toys and gizmos and mementos and pieces that remind me of some of my more fun aspects. Because much of my life, fun was, people tried to steal it from me. There were times where I've been very poor, or at least in this region, in this state, I have been very poor. But I still found ways to have fun. I still found ways to live because of a different set of perspectives. It's why there's an improvised putt-putt course coming up in my yard. I always have one. Usually, I've graduated from buried cottage cheese tubs to actual regulation holes I got cheap. But I'll always have something like that because the life is far too important to be taken seriously. And it's a small pleasure that hurts no one, makes me happy, and I can share with my son and my wife. And we can play putt-putt in the front yard. And people tell me that's strange. Like, if you want to play putt-putt, the holes aren't expensive. They have, it's about like a post, and they have a thing called a post hole digger. It's a digger for digging holes for posts. It's not technically expensive. It's not technically hard. You don't have to fully embrace the extreme of any given hobby to enjoy it. Now, some people do. Some people go full in on what they love, and I respect them, and I admire that. I take my life like a survey course, sampling my way through existence. And sometimes I go whole hog once I try something I really like. And sometimes I'm utterly repelled. And sometimes I have to come back. But you won't know till you know. Well, in my opinion, if you think for a second this is going to hurt this person, when you want to say something, don't say it, because it most likely will. Absolutely. There are times where I have to say something. Is it truthful? I think it's think, but I can't remember the full acronym. But truthful, necessary, and kind are the big ones. I can't remember what I is. Helpful. Sometimes I have to tell the truth, and sometimes it's unpleasant. But when I do that, I do it in a way as tactful as possible without sugarcoating, because when I am on the other side, I want the information, I want the truth about a given thing so that I can then work through it. And sometimes that offends people, and sometimes that hurts them a little bit. But if it's something that's necessary, then it's necessary. It has to happen. I do my best to make it happen. But I like that approach. I'm going to take a nap before I do my colonoscopy prep. Have a good one. You too, Grant. It's Wednesday, so I can go a little late. Lamau, you make me think about the arguments against the USDA's concept of a balanced diet. Oh, don't get me started on what I know about the dairy lobbies. Good luck, Grant. Don't get too worried. It's not so bad. Thanks, Carl. Our age group is grumpy, judgmental old people. I hang with you young folks. Exactly. Oh, read it again. Not unlike. That would be my dyslexia probably getting a hold of me. Yep, that was dyslexia. It just skipped the word. Thank you, Glenn. Wearing all the Blue Teddy, wearing a skirt all the time gets questions to people. What's the occasion? Me, life. People are so weird about clothes. If you're not at a job that requires a dress code, why not wear what you like? Exactly. To most people who either are female or identify femme, a skirt, especially a swishy skirt, makes them smile. My wife is a devout tomboy most of the time, and a lot of it was trained in. It's kind of how she is. But I have this habit of getting her a dress every once in a while, and she'll think, "Well, I can't wear that," and then she'll put it on and have a blast, and just the little swishy dance, and in that moment, you see the little girl she was before the world started saying you can't do that. On that run, there are a lot of people of different weights who say you aren't allowed clothing that makes you look good because we don't want to encourage you to be that weight. That's balderdash. You can't, there's no healthy way to hate yourself thin, folks. And not everyone is meant to be thin. It's overrated. Yes, healthy needs to happen. And a large number of us need to lose weight. But you can't lose weight when you're stressed. You physically can't lose weight when you are holding cortisol in your system, unless you're literally starving to death, and that's just not going to help. Let people be people. Let them be happy. And what we'll find is the more we allow people to do what they're doing, the less you'll have people lashing out to make a scene, because if everybody's allowed to wear what they want, you don't need to make a scene to be you. You just get to be you. And I respect that. And good for you, Blue. I have a class. Bye, everyone. Thank you all. Hope each and every one of you have a lovely day. You have a lovely day too, Alec. It's always good talking to them. When people hold traditional roles too tightly, they don't see the harm they're causing in others. Exactly. And part of my thing is I don't want people to push things on me. So I work very hard not to push them on others. Have a good day, Alec. Joe! And we've got a brief comment dump, so let's deal with that. Right, Jody. When you put your own expectations on others, it can hurt. Don't pick on Nick for misreading, for the misreading Lamau picnic. Lamau. I don't quite know what that's about, but I do apologize. I just blinked a word. Bite the bullet. Be the bad guy. I do. Johnny, but you do it so well. Carl. Skirts always make me smile, but that's different. True, true. I like to use the last few minutes from the show to state that, I'd like to use the last few minutes of the show to state that Blackluster Soldier can still beat Fencing Ace in single combat. Go team. You're probably right in raw number value, but I love it for the quotes. The quotes make me happy. Now, I asked my wife to get me a copy of it, and she got me one with a different one, because the quote of the Fencing Ace in Magic that I have on my wall, the flavor text reads, he brings hope to the guildless. Or his strength, his prowess brings hope to the guildless. And it's something I really love. And that resonated since I built a guild. But Mandy printed one off and didn't realize it had a different text. And it's quite good if one knows my history at all. Fencing. Right here, guys. It's right here. Yes, this is a print off of a Magic card. No, I'm not making any money off of it. Don't come at me, Watsy. I don't need Pinkertons on my porch. Anyway, the quote says, go find yourself a couple of friends and bring me a blindfold. then we might have a fair fight. That reminds me of the shenanigans I did in my youth, both doing blind fighting and against multiple opponents. I don't know if I ever blind fought against multiple opponents. Well, maybe once the list field is back up and running and I'm feeling a little more proper, I might just do that. Not the green room. Many Scotsmen wear the kilt and they don't identify as girls. No mental illness in Scotland runs for cover. Considering those lads and some lasses throw telephone poles around for fun, I would not poke the wearing of the kilt. Especially since I've got some of my people are up in those parts. Joe Lamau. Okay. Lamau, Glenn Fleming setting up landmines. Wow. Blue Tay, I feel like the younger generation is getting better about it. Oh, they are. There's way more variation in style from what I've seen, not to mention people borrowing and mashing from different time periods. It's glorious. Aesthetically, the world is kind of turning into an anime. More and more people who want to are dyeing their hair different colors. They're dressing more independently. They're thinking more independently. They're discussing things, especially young people. I disagree with the approach to some skill sets that some young people have, but the acceptance and the creativity is amazing. And this is why I really believe if you don't associate with young people, if you don't have children or take part helping people, you will age inside. I mean, my body, I've been going gray since 15. I'm pretty well there now, especially when I get the next cut. I think much of the brown will be gone. But the idea is that the youth see things from a perspective of creativity because they haven't hardened yet. Their minds haven't hardened, but they lack the wisdom of age. So when the young people speak with the older people gain motivation. They gain recognition. They gain hope. They gain a lot. And when the younger people, they gain wisdom and knowledge. And between the two, we build up much better as a society. The problem is anytime you have that kind of connection, it means more people are working together, which means when individuals have unjust power, they are more threatened. This is why racism is promoted so hard in this country. This is why sexism, this is why ableism, this is why ageism. All this is pushed to keep us fighting. Because as long as we're fighting down here, we can't look up at the people who are profiting from our suffering. We can't make things better. So my approach is let's try to make things better here and watch them freak out. One exception I make is please don't wear your pajamas to Walmart. Okay, yes, I do have one quibble. And everybody has things like that annoy them. But given what I've seen people wear to Walmart, it doesn't surprise me. The show's going along, but it's Wednesday and we can. So I'm going to run an ad real quick. folks. That Cindy Koepp is an amazing lady. She does so much for everybody. I just want to promote her works. And you can get all her stuff through connections. You find it at www.CKOEPP.com. Let's see the comments while we're dealing with that. Okay. Doctors this morning. So I'm like, hey, Rich, you were more than welcome anytime. We're running late anyway, but it's really good to hear from you. And there he is, doing great. Hello, I've only done that once, Carl, but it was in defense. It was the middle of the night during a sleepover, and we needed toilet paper for vandalism purposes. Wait, maybe that's better. No, that is exquisite. Hilarity happens, and that's different. Of course, Carl would renounce that policy if he lived in Lafayette. Trust me, knowing Carl, you would renounce that and go to a different route. But that's more of a green room thing. Magic cards need more text. They need fine print. Oh, magic cards. Magic cards need to be simpler again, so it's easier for me to start new people in the hobby. Which I love the game, but boy, do I have beef with the company right now. But that's okay. If I have to, I'll make my own and just play with those. Ha, Blue Teddy, that's hilarious. Script refills and discussions for uncomfy tests. It happens. I would never say anything to someone wearing their pajamas, or just judge silently, as more people should. Judge silently, folks. 1 second. Sorry, that would have been parental Tourette's. I will have to be leaving fairly soon because it sounds like I am needed, but not terribly. It was a serial discussion. Hey, Rich.
Yeah, there is only one left.
Okay. You know what? Okay, buddy. You can get that last bottle of milk, shake it up, and then you can pour it over your cereal. You know how, right? Okay. Sorry, guys. Waits for cats to pounce for lunch. Boom! Please don't forget to like this video. Yeah, please like, share, and subscribe to this. Youth is wasted on the young as an old man of 605. I say that with authority and experience. Sometimes I wonder about that, but it is what it is, too. Dang, I really need the name of your doctor, Glenn. 605? Yes, doctor. Johnny, who would be a match up for Magician of Black Chaos on the Magic the Gathering side? Don't know, but I can look someone up. Everyone's having fun with this. I'm glad. Secret of Youthful Looks is the rotting painting in my loft. Oh, it's so good. One, I love the painting of Dorian Gray. It's a great bit of writing. And I'm going to have a mildly unpopular opinion here, but it's my show and I can. I loved the movie version of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I find it to be a good time every time I watch it. And I truly wish they had used that as an excuse to launch Sean Connery doing a bunch of Alan Quatermain movies. But that's neither here nor there. I know more about Yu-Gi-Oh! Than Magic at Johnny. I can speak in depth on Yu-Gi-Oh! But not Magic. Same here. Well, that's okay. I played Magic since Alpha, so I am an old hat at that. Gotta go. Good day. Have a wonderful day, Monster. Oops. I mentioned cat lunch then. Everyone have a great day. Later. Well, it sounds like everyone is bailing. The numbers are dropping. So I will run a couple ads I think I need to run, and then we will wrap up unless people have something else to discuss.
Hi, this is Kat. During the school year, I'm Mrs. Rothermel, but otherwise, I'm Rock and Roll Art Goddess, writing about my past and filming the present. I need you to join my Rock and Roll Art army and to check out my merch on Zazzle.com. What started out as journal therapy is now 4 books, I see, and an Instagram account to blow off steam, becoming a book, with another to do the same. A short film for a friend. No, this is not the end. Peace, love, and let me art.
Hi, bunnies. This is Robin Yoda, just wanting to let you know I have a Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/Robin Yoda. You can catch me there Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific playing Stardew Valley, Saturdays at 2 p.m. playing The Sims 4, and Sundays at 10 a.m. Pacific playing a random game from my Game Pass library. You can also find me Mondays on my YouTube channel, Robin Yoda the Lilac Bunny. I hope to see you all there. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, those are great people in my life who've really deserve more attention, and I get bounced between so many. But I'm hoping to actually have Kat on as a guest in the near future. And it looks like Jody fell out too quickly in the late. Cards were getting changed quickly, late 90s, early 2000s. Links on my phone later, Nick. Great seeing you guys. All right, folks, I want you to keep writing, keep creating, keep doing what you love. Because when you write, when you create, you make something that's real, make something that matters. And even if it's not perfect, you can edit it, you can improve it, but you can't edit a blank screen. I will see you all, well, bare minimum Friday morning for another episode of Nevermind the Furthermore. But I wouldn't be surprised if an unscheduled art stream pops up, because I have a lot I need to do on a project I'm working on. And it might be fun just to do it in front of you guys. So keep your eyes open. With that, guys, be kind to yourself and each other. I love you. Toodles.